finally completed all 151 Pokemon, and somehow it still felt like I wasn't done. 151 Pokemon. Every single one. I think I finally figured out why I had never done this before. It's mad tedious. I still have to go back and catch another Clefairy. It's like a 10% encounter rate. How fun is that? But every time I start up the game and see the Pokemon count, along with the playtime, I'm reminded of why I started this in the first place. And that's what makes it worth it. It's just the feeling of completing a project. That same feeling runs through this entire process. I'm scripting, I'm shot listing, I'm recording, editing, and then finally uploading, which is probably the most anxiety-inducing part of this process. You're literally putting something out there for people to either praise or critique, but that's just the natural part of the process. To add another level of difficulty, I have a kid with me here on spring break. That means actually getting out the house and making sure she's not bored or sitting on the iPad all day. I don't want that. But I've been teaching her how to use the cameras, even if it's just my iPhone. And she's doing a great job. She's laughing behind the screen and just being my little behind the scenes camera crew. She's honestly my biggest fan through all of this. And I really feel like God is using her to teach me about faith. I told her we're going to Japan at some point, right? Pokemon centers, the Johto region, all that. That's my dream. She already has her bags packed. I don't even know where I'm going. No idea how she's going, when or with what money, but she just knows she's going. And that's faith. God tells us to move exactly like that. Some days I need a little more of that myself. While I've been making these videos, this being the fourth one in this series, I've noticed something about myself. I have a problem with affirming labels. I ran a marathon, but I don't consider myself a marathoner. I'm just a dude that ran a marathon. I've been creating content of some sort since 2020, and I don't really consider myself a creator. And honestly, what I've been doing this entire time with content or any other projects I'm working on is just having one foot in and one foot out. Like I'm not giving it 100%, really just in case I fail. It's not the way to do it. I've always had something to fall back on, and because of that, it's no surprise that things never really worked out the way I wanted them to. Talking about lack of faith. But if I'm being real, my heart's in here. In this, and building something that actually matters. So I'm going all in. No safety net, no backup identity waiting on standby. I'm a creator, I'm a marathoner. And this time I'm not walking away from it. Back to the Pokemon grind, we are cooking. Knocked off some stone evolutions, revived the fossils, and even involved Omanite into Omastar off recording. I was just playing in bed, my bad. But I also found something that changed this entire process for me. I've got the Legion Go and a GB operator. Since this is a full Windows device, I can run the operator software along with OBS and just be able to record wherever I'm at. But that's just one shift that helped me remove the friction, stopping me from being consistent with this whole thing. My desk is always a mess. Lately, every time I feel like I've asked God for something, I've been challenged instead. Until I realized I wasn't missing the blessing, I was missing the preparation. But I was too focused on the outcome and not grateful enough for what I already had. I've cleared out my space, I got rid of more stuff that no longer served me, and everything just felt lighter. Not just physically, but mentally as well. But everything works, and I'm able to do the work I need to do with what I have. And right now, that's enough. Back to the Pokemon grind, we are cooking. Beating the Elite Four opened up the unknown dungeon for me, but I wasn't ready for that yet. I had to go back to the Safari Zone. I'm still missing Scyther, Kangaskhan, and Chansey. Chansey I can get in the unknown dungeon, but it's not the real grind if you do it that way, right? And I'm really kicking myself for not doing this earlier, but that's just how it goes. It's funny, I remember playing this when I was a kid and not knowing what unknown actually meant. I grew up in Dominican Republic, so English is technically my second language. And I literally thought it was the guard's name that's blocking the cave. I'm like, oh, and this is his dungeon. I even thought, because he's standing in front of the dungeon, I thought that the cave entrance was like his afro or something. I was like, nah, bro, do you blame me? What's crazy is even now we still carry things we didn't understand back then, but that's just part of growing up. The evolutions definitely took longer than the actual catching. A lot of grinding. Elite Four runs, finding every single trainer I could, leveling up everything, but that's the point. It requires work. There's still one more grind that I need to do that I've been avoiding this entire time, but we'll get to that. Trade evolutions taught me something. Graveler and Hunter by themselves are pretty strong, but they can only go so far alone. And to reach their final form, you literally need someone else, or in my case, you need another console. I've been trying to do this content thing solo for years, and it cost me. The stone evolutions don't happen without the right resources. People matter, tools matter. And acting like you don't need either one of those will definitely keep you stuck. Hindsight is 20/20, remember that. After all of that, the grinding, the Safari Zone, the trading, 151 out of 151. My first Pokedex is completed. I talked to Professor Oak. Dude was probably salty I actually beat Gary to complete the Pokedex. But then the real final moment came. I went to the Game Freak department and I got my diploma. I was hoping to have a Game Boy printer by this time, but they're like $150, bro. And nah, I just take a screenshot, print it, and hang it up on my wall or something. This week was definitely challenging. But completing the Pokedex and showing my daughter a series that I loved growing up and seeing her fall in love with it the same, that was special. And that made the challenge a lot easier. I wouldn't have had it any other way. Crystal was special to me because it was the first Pokemon game that I bought with my own money. I was 11 at this point. I'm not that old. I went with Cyndaquil, but after the first gym, to make things right, I got him back. Squirtle. Hatched from an egg, sent over from my blue version Blastoise. So now I got the same Pokemon in a new generation, in a new journey where the counter is now back to 0. But if I already did it once, why can't I do it again? I'll see you at the next gym.